Hello. Spontaneous recording, April 12th, 2025, and I just found, scooped, and released. I don't know what kind of beetle roach this is, but every day, pretty much for at least the last week, maybe even a little bit longer, I am finding a beetle in my house, which, not a big deal. In recent gardening, I saw that those kinds of beetles actually live in our garden. I just very rarely find them in the house. I used to find them occasionally in the garage. So today it just occurred to me, like, hold on. And I see this beetle, his legs are flailing. That's why he's stuck. Although the others just sat there. So some were on their backs and some weren't. But anyway, uh, you know, it's a tricky thing to know how to read in or not read in too deeply to things. But this is like a daily pattern, and it's just one. And it felt like a bit of a litmus test of how I'm going to treat something that I feel a bit grossed out by. And just as I'm saying that, also, uh, so many little things, not a lot of things, but have happened since I think connecting with Scott and the energy, they're not his, but the energies that are around him. I felt kind of sniffed out a couple days before we were going to meet. Certainly, there was energy hanging around afterwards. Um, there's been various things, and I wish I can remember the context. So yeah, I think a friend told me about, I want to say Sean Koss. Yeah, Sean Koss wrote a book and has a whole kind of movement about like mental health and community. It's pretty cool, actually. And I'm waiting for his book to arrive where he did illustrations about each mental health issue and like what the energy of it, I guess, feels like. Or maybe he had a vision of what it looks like. I don't know. I haven't gotten the book yet to read it. I might actually read this book. We'll see. However, his ink drawings have kind of stuck with me a bit. And there is this, and I'm just going to call him Sharphead, that I've seen. And I saw him for the first time, I want to say 2 days ago, and I cannot yet place uh, what the context was, but I feel like that's who has been around me a lot this morning. I mean, I woke up at 6, but I was up originally at like 4, and I saw the visual, and he wasn't on my mind. Yes, and he wants me to say he's this song, "Everybody Have Fun, Everybody Wang Chung Tonight." Is what he started playing in my head. So I'm going to put it on in a moment when oh, okay. Yeah, I guess this is his recording. Okay, fair enough. But I wanted to record the like synchronicities because I don't believe in coincidence. And I was saying to the last Beatle sort of out loud, like, I hope this is the test I'm passing. And anytime you want to, stop sending the Beatles, feel free. But I've got a little kit of a Tupperware and a little piece of cardboard. So uh, yeah, don't send anything bigger, please, because that would be a lot harder. And then I wouldn't be able to necessarily assure that I would save that being. And I don't think that's what you want. And I was telling Sharphead earlier, like basically leave me the fuck alone. I'm not open for business yet. Not that I'm opposed to talking to him, but and then I felt like he brought in like, hey, go fuck yourself, which I'm looking to not take personally. And I had this moment when I picked up on the "hey, go fuck yourself," where it just really struck me that the negativity that I've connected with about myself, directed at me, pretty much my whole fucking life, that I feel like I'm in like the crux of changing, even getting like these energy treatments from this doctor right now to change that. But it's kind of that same tone. And I had this moment of like, wow, that's like really familiar. And there's a safety in that for me because I can be, nervous about things like this happening because, there's that part of me. Thank you. So there's like agency over yourself, really feel, I'm going to look right, look at feeling like, knowing, having like a, no, I fucking know this in my bones, knowing that you have agency over yourself and your space and your energetic space. So that's like here, right? And then there's this victimhood. And it's so embedded in parts of my family that I grew up with. And certainly I've hung on to that feeling and belief system. And I'm becoming more and more aware of it, as I'm continuing to live in this life. But it's like, it's right there. It's getting smaller, but it's like this like victimhood, feeling helpless. So, getting run over by people. And certainly you could feel that by people in spirit. And the only difference maybe between people who live here and people who live here is a fucking mindset. Because when the mindset is, wait a minute, this is my energetic space, get the fuck out. I'm not also trying to be a dick to him because I want him to feel my love and respect because he's also a being and he needs that too. And now I feel a little savvier like, hold on, those kind of entities or energies that are super negative and attached to people, they're fucking lonely also. They're like in that depressed energy, they live in that also. That's why they're attracted to people like me or how I was. I'm really not there now. I don't live there now. I visit at times. It remains, I have, thank you. I have a residue of this negative self-concept and self-talk and self-image. And that keeps some of this, it keeps some of that door open. Like like that feels like a knowing to me right now. And not like any of this is some big revelation, but for me to feel and know this on a deeper level is a big deal. Much less maybe anybody else who just hadn't taken the time yet or hadn't reached that point yet where they were thinking about this. But I'm seeing things unfold in this way. So the go fuck yourself, I'm like, I want to make a joke. I'm from New Jersey. We can joke like that, even though I don't know that he means it like a joke. But I'm not going to push him away in a disrespectful way. But I need fucking boundaries and he needs to respect those. And at one point, I just felt like, dude, what are you doing? I asked you to stop. Like, I'll talk to you, but not right now. It took me some time to like wake up. So it's just a very interesting, I'm finding it to be like an interesting unfoldment of things and my understanding of those things. And hello, pussycat. You can come up. It's also going to really help me feel brave and have the courage to deal with the negative energies around other people. Not like I'm like, hey, fam, to those energies. I don't want to be that, but I kind of need to be honest with myself and authentic about, like, yeah, I see it. And it's my responsibility to maintain my own vibration and I'm getting, of course, a lot of this information, the cleanliness of my energetic space and to do more energy hygiene. And I'm going to have to really remember that because self care, at least my impression, certainly how I live, is my self care must be tied into my, you know, level of self love or something that I find it like a bit of a burden a lot of the time. And especially extra, what seems like extra. Stretching shouldn't be extra. I have extremely tight muscles, but I look at it like it's extra. And I want to move past that because I want to really care for my body in a way that it will be pliable and flexible for the rest of my life. So working on releasing resistance has been very much in my awareness for a while now, um, especially in the last couple of weeks. All this to say, I don't know exactly what I'm saying, but I'm just sharing some insights into this. But it really feels potent about this idea of vibration. And yeah, my attention is being drawn to the dragon on my chest, which was the mascot to a school that I worked at, where there was a lot of love. So it's not that kind of dragon. Yeah. And even that is a place I want to bring love to not feel or get in the energy of like shock or feel like somebody is abhorrent to me. That's just the opposite of the point of all of this. So, anyway, for whatever it's worth, just wanted to share that. Okay, and do you want this to be a part of that? All right, well, and I guess we're going to keep talking. So, this is Sharphead, Enir. Okay, so let me get the right notebook since we're going to do a little mediumship talk. Okay. And my goal is to not edit and just post this kind of stuff. So this is me early in the morning without much prep at all. I took my robe off though. I was wearing my very cozy robe. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Okay, so Sharphead, Enir. Okay, so I'm seeing the name Enir. Okay, so sorry, are you okay? And I'm not. I didn't even ground because I've been accompanied, and I did say I would play that song. So let me put that on for you because I can respect anybody wanting to hear music for sure. You won't be able to hear this, but it's the Everybody Have Fun Tonight by Wang Chen. Is that Wang Chen? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So now I'm seeing, okay, so Sharphead is this very darkened black uh, character, and he's got this big, uh, like, sharp thing for head. And he's just showing himself right now. I guess he's being a little bit funny. Like he's kind of moving side to side a little bit, and he's like snapping his fingers to the side. It's cute. Oh, now he's showing a visual of us dancing. That's cute. Looks like we're both having fun. That's nice. Thank you. I like that. Yeah. That's so cute. We're still dancing. We were holding hands dancing a moment ago, like dancing together that way. Now we're just kind of both doing our own thing, but we're dancing together. It's just the two of us. And he's saying this, like, this is our dance. This, are you saying, or this was our dance? Sorry. Okay. This, like, is our dance. Okay. He also, are you trying to let me know that this might be a calling card if you're going to visit me in the future? So can you, I just want to make sure we're on the same page about answers. So if I ask you a question and you want to give me a yes, do you, okay, so I'll just show you. So universe, please show me a yes. Okay, and universe, please show me a no. So, if I ask you a question and, well, I don't know if you would be doing that, the moving me part, but anyway, that's that's really helpful to me to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So if we could stick with that system, I would appreciate that. Okay. So are you saying you would appreciate that too? Okay. Yeah, he's saying that he wants to be understood. And he's bringing up the word welcome. Okay. Like that I'm welcoming you into a conversation, into the discussion. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He's saying thank you for that. Okay, of course. But look, I really, I feel, and this is just me saying this, I feel very torn about getting information in the middle of the night. Sleep is just difficult often for me to get a good night's sleep or a full night's sleep. And so I am resistant to being woken up. And, even if I'm getting up at 4 in the morning, I want to go back to sleep because I'm just probably needing to use the bathroom. So if you start visiting and I wake up more, then I won't be able to go back to sleep. And then I think it's also harder to do mediumship when I'm tired. So I'm just asking that, we can have like, business hours, but if you could stick with them, that would probably help us both, honestly. So just putting it out there. Does that make sense? Do you get that about that I'm telling you the truth? Yeah, he's saying I see that. Okay. I can help sometimes withhold my impatience. Okay. Okay. Please just, do your best like the rest of us. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Okay. So, and I'm going to turn your music down just a little bit. No, it's too low. So I want you to hear it. Okay. So, can you paint me a picture of the context through which we just met? We first met the other day. I know it was this last week. I just can't place it. Who was I talking to? Was it Maria? No. Anyway, not that it matters, but yeah, why are you here with me? Okay, I'm seeing the word visiting. Checking out. He's saying to me, checking out your energy balance. Okay. Am I getting that right? Okay. Why are you checking out my energy balance? Your attachment to your clients? Okay. Who are your clients? He's showing the people in my class. I'm teaching a class right now. There's 5 people in there. Hold on. Okay, so can you give me more information? Otherwise, I'm going to maybe start bombarding you with questions. But he's showing me, not everybody in the group, but a few people in the group, in the class, rather. So I'm getting a sense of him being like an agent, like representing. Am I getting this right? No. Okay. Well, Enir, I think I need a little more help in receiving your message. It, he's saying it's simple. Sorry, I have to not get defensive that he's a couple of a drop of that sometimes helps. Okay. You're not giving me a message. I feel like he's saying that I'm easier to communicate with when I'm high. I take gummies at night to help me sleep, so I could see his point about that, but yeah, let's try it without the music for now. So, do you have an attachment to those people? Do you have an attachment to others who are attached to these people in the class? This one in particular. Okay. Am I getting that right? Okay, and he's saying there's light and dark energies, and everybody else is in between. We are of the light and dark beings. And my people, he's saying, are exquisitely in between. They're a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I need some more understanding of why we are feeling isolated so much these days. More than usual. Oh, I'm just taking a moment to process what he's saying. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Hmm. Do you know why you're feeling, or you and your people are feeling a bit more isolated these days? Do you have a theory? You're really not sure. Oh, people are deciding between light and dark more emphatically, less in between. And I'm getting the sense it's connected to our political climate. And he's saying the political has split up people even more than we anticipated. And there's no room, so much less room for the in between. And he's saying to me, people like me are trying to stay grounded, more grounded. Yeah, that's very true, actually. I am. And not just like grounded, like grounding myself into the earth, but um, also more, I guess, balanced, not being the outraged this or the angry that kind of thing. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. He's saying everybody needs a chill pill. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now he's showing me a visual of himself. And sorry, but I am putting my robe back on because a little bit of a chill and I want to feel a bit cozy. This is the softest thing. Yeah, I can put it. Okay. Okay. So I'm seeing him from a side view. I'm going to be doing all right. Anyway, he's got a very tall, sort of wide cone shaped head, and it is sharp on top. Let me just leave the rest because, anyway, sorry, folks, this is what I've got. My friend Maria were here, she'd be able to draw him. So, and imagine that he's like with like jet black ink filled in, and that, and he's small. I mean, he's not that size, and that, anyway, I want to make a joke. That's life size. It's not, but he's small. But he's saying something about an imprint. Like he has so much energy that he makes. Is that what you mean? Like he's making an imprint? Anyway, yeah. Okay. So what else do you want to share? I hear you about there's less in between, like people are less in their own, let's say, balanced energy, and they're more to an extreme, and that is maybe messing up the natural balance of some of your people. Am I getting that right? Okay, thanks. I notice he's not giving me big yeses because that would maybe seem a bit egoic to feed into it that way. And it's not, am I, it's, I just want to make sure I'm getting your message right. Am I getting your message accurately? Or, sorry, am I understanding you correctly is really the question. So I appreciate you being mindful to not do any ego feeding, because I really don't want that. Um, but I do want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Yeah, and I'm feeling drawn to ask you this. Is it okay to ask you this? So if you represent your people, um, I think I should represent my people, whoever they are. And my question is, how do I set boundaries with your people? How do we, in general, set boundaries with your people so that they get respected? It's not, some people are going to say, I don't want to communicate. Some people are not going to be open um, to chatting. And I think you have to be okay with that because that's just how it is. Um, But for those of us that are willing but want our energetic space respected, I think there needs to be like more, you know, and this is the thing. And I'm thinking about Scott and somebody with a diagnosis like schizophrenia who doesn't seem to have boundaries or have ever learned, or maybe, maybe it's beings who are like boundaries. No fucking way, which is not fair. That's not fair to do to anybody. And now I'm getting a sense of is that he's also seeing, well, I'm seeing the word empathy, seeing like if he was in a different kind of state of mind, like a more restful state of mind, and I came over, he's showing a visual of me with castanets, castanets on my hand, and I'm like, come dance or something. And it would be like so annoying when you're in that space, right? He's like, I can see it. Um, yeah, that's all it is. Now, you might say, I fucking hate Noelle. I'm not going to hang out with her and never want to. Or it might be, wow, somebody wants to engage. Just now is not the right time, but I will get back to them later. And maybe I'll invite them later because they obviously had something to say. Um, and that just seems so much more respectful of everybody. I'm sure you have other things to do also. Not really. Well, okay. So you need to find hobbies that are not trying to coerce people to interact when they're not in that space, or they may never ever be in that space. And I think you can be okay. I think you can be okay with that. I think you can learn to be okay with that. I do. And I kind of think you should. Yeah, and just as the energy of that hit me, I'm like, oh, yeah. I think of family members, a biological father in particular, uh, that has made it very clear that, he doesn't want a relationship with me. Certainly not a healthy one, but just not, he doesn't want to be connected with me. And that's been a very painful lesson, but I had to learn that. And I've had lots of people in my life, family members in particular, that have made it super clear they didn't want a connection with me. And I had to learn to be okay with that. And that was a hard fucking lesson. I think that was when it was still happening, it was really painful. But it was the reality. So I'm just saying, you're not the only one. Your people are not the only people. Over here, if there's one side and then there's this side and then there's maybe other, like we do this to each other here. I'm sure you guys do that to each other too. He's saying they play fruitfully together. Okay. Well, hey, if that's the case, good on you guys for having mastered that better. But in my mind, this is like reality is that not everybody engages the way that other person might want them to. Relationships begin and end all the time. So I just asked why are you here? And he was saying that I'm delving more into the depths of uh, darkness and that he's going to accompany me. Really. Okay. And I have a double check thing where I visualize my grandfather, Papa, over here. And if he gives me a thumbs up, I'm like, okay. And I'm getting a Papa thumbs up. So, am I getting that right? Okay. Now I'm just kind of asking my team. And no, I didn't ground and, you know, all of that. But usually that doesn't really matter as far as this kind of thing goes. So, okay. You're going to be my chaperone? Okay. Well, he's saying, but I have to trust him. Well, uh, I'm sure we can earn that, just like I will earn yours, hopefully. Um, we can work on that. But dude, part of earning trust is respecting somebody's boundaries. Seriously, it really is. He's showing me like a plate of food. Yeah. Of course, it's like fried chicken to the vegan. Anyway, but yeah, that would be if I say I'm saving this for you, even if I think it'd be really delicious and tasty. Um, Trust is I keep my word and I respect what you asked me to do or what I intended for you in a good way, something that you would want. Like me talking about this music. If I say I'm going to put it on later and I don't, you're like, thanks a fucking lot. It's the same thing. Huh. This is second or third, and well, maybe more than that, that I've had to talk to about boundaries. So maybe it's just different other places, but okay, Enir. Anything else you want to share? Okay. And you're going to help me on the Scott journey, right? Or like related to that, I assume. Okay. Delving into the depths of darkness. Okay. Just writing that down too. Yeah, I get that. He's saying it's not as unfamiliar as you might have guessed. I hear you. Okay, and you're offering to be my chaperone. Okay. Well, thank you for that. That seems generous and kind. Um, he's saying your people and my people get along well. I mean, it seems to me like they're actually at odds, but or could easily be at odds. I feel like he's saying now it might be different. Sorry, it might be difficult. He's saying it might be different. in the future. Okay. That'd be lovely if it's, serving to everybody. And look, I'm not interested in creating more attachments to people of energies that are feeling lost or depressed or, you know, sleepless. He's saying like sleepless in Seattle. Like, yeah, we're not creating that. I'm not going to participate in that, just to be like super clear. This is meant to be of the light of the higher vibration. So something that's not that is, you know, I don't want to participate in. Sorry, I'm unwilling to participate in. So it has to be for the highest good of all involved. Highest good, all. He's saying, okay, I hear that. I'm proud of the fact that my people have been evolving all the time, over time, over time, and want more for themselves also. Okay. Yeah. Now that I'm closing my eyes, it's a bit easier to see him. And he's saying that you and me, he's saying, he is saying to me, as people, we're not very different. We have people we love and want to protect and care about many people. And we want what's truly for the highest best. Yeah. So he's saying we're on the same page. He's saying my people have expressed it differently. And what would you call your people? The dark characters? Okay. And he's saying they help balance out the light and dark. They're in between. Am I getting this right? Okay. And is there another guide or angel around that can verify that I'm getting this accurately? Okay. Vinji, who's an angel, is saying it's the truth. Discussion, being discussed. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Vinji. Okay. So, Enir, we need office hours. Respected, okay? Please. I'm getting an I'll try. I'll try my best and better next time. I would be very grateful for that. And if you let me know when you want to talk, we can set up like kind of an appointment or just like, hey, give me like an hour or two kind of thing. But we'll get to it. But I don't want to feel like pestered, please. I really need boundaries. I do. He's saying your cat has no better boundaries than me. Actually, for herself, she has great boundaries. She hates being picked up by me. Certain body parts you don't touch. When she's not in the mood to be touched, you can't touch her. If your hands are damp at all, you can't touch her. When she doesn't want to be found, she's not. I mean, she has a lot of boundaries, and she has learned to respect actually a lot of mine. So we actually do have a lot of agreements together. It's not a coincidence. I've been pretty consistent with her too. So he was saying it's coincidence. It's actually not. Okay. Is there anything else you want to share right now? He wants to make an appointment for tomorrow at 9. Okay. I won't have long because I have my class. But we can do like a brief check-in if that's okay. Now he wants to meet at 8:30. Okay. I could do that. Am I getting that right? Okay. We can do that. So half an hour. This one to me. Okay. And I'll just go there and take the whole morning. Forget me. I do a little. Anything else? Okay. He's saying I love meeting and discussion. Okay. Am I getting that right? All right. Well, look, I think this was great too. I'm really glad we talked. And it's also occurring to me to say that I am in my mediumship practice in general, just really starting to try to ask more questions like, why am I seeing this? Why am I feeling this? Even like during a reading, not even just some random thing happens when I'm like cleaning or walking or something that I do. And anyway, and so this feels more along the lines of going deeper, allowing ourselves to go deeper with the energies around us to have a better understanding of why they're around us. I don't think I said that right, but hopefully it comes across. Anyway, okay, signing off for now.